We take you to the UK, where RTI hosted the first Taiwan Forum in London.
Emma talks with the new conductor of the National Symphony Orchestra.
And you'll find out what people in Taiwan are eating to stay warm.
And today, we honor Taiwan's fallen soldier in Ukraine. This is Taiwan Insider.
RTI hosted the very first Taiwan Forum in London, right here at the Church House, which is right next to the Westminster Abbey. The Westminster Abbey is the royal church in the heart of London, which is right near the Great Clock of Westminster, Big Ben, and a few steps away from the Thames River, County Hall, and the London Eye. The event was held on Remembrance Day, when people in the UK honor those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in defending their nation. The theme of the Taiwan Forum was about our modern battle in cyberspace. Many leading academics, journalists, and policymakers attended the forum on digital resilience and diplomacy. The event was sponsored by Radio Taiwan International, the Taipei Representative Office in the UK, and the UK's Association of International Broadcasting. President Ing-wen sent a video message about Taiwan being the world's leading target of cyber attacks. She also affirmed Taiwan's commitment to uphold democratic freedoms, including freedom of the press.
Taiwan is committed to a free and open media, and we are willing and ready to help advance media freedom across the broader international community.
Minister of Digital Affairs Audrey Tang shared Taiwan's expertise in fighting disinformation. Tang also shared about the unprecedented cyber attacks that hit Taiwan during House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit.
Although no harm was done to our governmental websites or disclosure of sensitive information, this experience dramatically heightened our public awareness of the critical need for enhanced cybersecurity.
The president of the Taiwan Digital Diplomacy Association, Guo Jiayou, is a leading innovator in digital diplomacy. She shared stories of how Taiwan has built alliances through soft power and social media. One very successful campaign was the Milk Tea Alliance, which became a symbol of democracy in Asia. Guo asked for people to support Taiwan on social media.
And we believe the power of cyber defense comes from continuous discussion and content creation. As a country who stands on the front line of democracy in the world, we will not shrink from this responsibility. But we do need more people to join our action.
Many journalists and activists, including this Ukrainian scholar, were glad to participate in this important dialogue with Taiwan's leaders. The first Taiwan Forum in London was a success. It was great to be in London and to see the interest in Taiwan and our digital resilience. Now, Taiwan is a global concern, and it was a major topic that U.S. President Joe Biden and Xi Jinping discussed this week.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping met in person on Monday for the first time since Biden entered office. The meeting happened before the opening of the G20 summit in Indonesia. In addition to topics like climate change and security tensions, Taiwan was central to the two leaders' discussions. Xi stressed that the so-called Taiwan question was at the center of China's core interests. He told Biden agreements between the United States and China on Taiwan were the bedrock of the two countries' relationship and the first red line that must not be crossed. Biden said his administration is committed to managing competition with Beijing to avoid conflict.
I absolutely believe there need not be a new Cold War. I've met many times with Xi Jinping, and we were candid and clear with one another across the board. And I do not think there's any imminent attempt on the part of China to invade Taiwan. And I made it clear that our policy in Taiwan has not changed at all. It's the same exact position we've had. I made it clear that we want to see cross-strait issues peacefully resolved, and so it never has to come to that.
The two leaders say meeting face-to-face is essential. These kinds of dialogues could also help lower the temperature in the Taiwan Strait.
Next, Emma brings you the latest in the world of arts and culture in Taiwan.
Taiwan's National Symphony Orchestra is one of the top orchestras in Asia, and it plays music from all over the world. I got the chance to speak with the orchestra's new music director, Märkl, about his experience as a conductor in Taiwan and beyond. I'm here with June Märkl, an award-winning German conductor. Mr. Märkl has traveled all around the world with various orchestras, and he is currently serving as music director of the Taiwan Philharmonic. Can you describe what has your experience been like working with them?
This is a fantastic orchestra. It's an orchestra in big formation, so it's a great and big symphony orchestra. They are very friendly, like most Taiwanese people are very friendly people. They're very open and flexible, and they have a very high standard. And they have the expectation they want to improve. They want to do better than they are now. And this is something I like. That there is an ambition in an ensemble, and they are really trying very hard to improve and do always the very best. Extremely good discipline in the orchestra. And we have a very enthusiastic audience here in Taiwan. So this audience is also special. When I go to Europe, United States, very often they're quite old.
Oh, really?
Yes. And here it's really mixed. There are many young people, middle-aged and older people. So that's I can feel that classical music here in Taiwan means a lot to people. And so you can reach many people.
Yeah, I mean, you're describing how you've worked with orchestras around the world. What are some of the challenges that come with that? You know, working in different countries with people from different countries who have different impressions of music.
For me, the great thing about this is that I work with many different mentalities and background. So I know exactly what result I need, but the way to get to the result is quite often different. So working in the United States or in Japan or in Taiwan or in France is completely different. And still you want to get this result. And that keeps your mind very flexible and open also for what kind of people are these. I'm very interested in who are these people, how do they think, how do they feel, what do they think is important, and how do they get to certain results. And so I'm happy to change, and that's a kind of flexibility you have to have.
I'm sure you have to learn a lot kind of as you encounter these challenges. As the weather gets a bit colder, people are turning to traditional foods and soups in Taiwan to stay warm.
A duck meat stew is bubbling away, almost ready to be served. After ginger julienne strips are added, it becomes a nourishing soup that can also heat up one's body. One restaurant serving this winter favorite in Nantou normally opens at noon, but has decided to open earlier at 7 a.m. Ginger duck soup is not the only popular winter dish. Some convenience stores are having special discounts on hot pot ingredients. People can even order live lobsters online and have them delivered to their doors. Some swear by sesame oil chicken as a remedy for winter chills. Others have a habit of eating dumplings on cold days. That's because dumplings are shaped like ears, and there's a belief that if you eat them, you won't get frostbite on your ears. Other traditions include eating scallions to warm up the body, because the spiciness will induce sweating. Another is eating sweet glutinous rice balls to restore heat. One interesting practice among Taiwanese people is heating up whole oranges to reduce the coolness in the fruit. Many say these are good for the lungs, and if your feet tend to get cold in the winter, some nuts and grains could be just the kind of boost you need.
Taiwan's elections are just around the corner, and now candidates are using their best assets, their families, to win some votes.
Taipei mayor candidate Jiang Wan-an moved around a traditional market, greeting vendors and encouraging them to support him in the upcoming election. Jiang's wife also appeared at the market, rallying alongside her husband's supporters. Some media sources are questioning whether Jiang intentionally invited his pregnant wife to the rally, believing that playing the family card could help attract more voters. Jiang declined to comment on these speculations. Jiang isn't the only Taipei mayor candidate making public appearances with their family members. Chen Shizhong went on stage with his wife at a concert on Sunday, But he says this was not a ploy to win people's empathy. Candidate Huang Shanshan says many of her family members are military personnel, so they're not able to join her during her campaign due to work obligations. But she says she still feels strong familial support from Taipei residents themselves. The elections are less than 2 weeks away, which could mean seeing more new campaigning strategies to win over voters during this crucial period.
And we wanted to honor Zheng Shengguang, a Taiwanese volunteer soldier who fought for Ukraine. Zheng fell on November 2nd, and a memorial was held for him in Ukraine earlier this week.
Family, brothers-in-arms, and regular Ukrainians say their farewells to a fallen hero at the Church of St. Peter and Paul in Lviv. Zheng Shengguang joined the Carpathian Siege Volunteer Battalion in June. The battalion is part of the foreign volunteer contingent fighting for Ukraine's freedom. In early November, Zheng was killed in action around Luhansk, one of many civilian and military casualties of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. He was 25 years old. Zheng was a member of the indigenous Amis tribe. He had previously served in the Taiwanese armed forces before being honorably discharged in 2021. He then left his wife and child behind to fight against the Russians in Ukraine. Ukrainian lawmaker Inna Sovsun told the CNA news agency that Zheng was motivated by a sense of duty for freedom. Some Ukrainians present at the ceremony wore Team Taiwan vests. One of them, who has previously lived in Taiwan, says he came to support the fallen soldier's family during this difficult time. He says he didn't know Zheng, but believes he came to Ukraine with a strong sense of purpose. Taiwan's foreign ministry also praised Zheng's warrior spirit and saluted his sacrifice for the cause of liberty.
Well, it's so great to be back with you guys here in Taiwan. It's
Great to have you back.
Thank you.
So tell us, how was your trip?
Oh, I really enjoyed London. It's a beautiful place. The weather was really nice. The event went really, really well. People were so happy to be able to hear straight from our ministers. And they said that our minister, digital minister Audrey Tang, is brilliant and also very approachable. Because I think they've been having a lot of chaos with their government lately. So to be able to talk directly, with ministers, about things like transparency and digital resilience, they thought that was really cool. And I really enjoyed walking around the city. The weather was beautiful. It was great.
What's like the biggest difference between London and Taipei?
The parks are tremendous. I mean, there's so many parks over there, and I really like this one pond that had swans. They're just swimming around. They come really close to you. So I really like the parks. There's a lot of greenery over there.
Yeah, did you have anything good to eat while you were there?
We had some Indian food, and we had some good apple crumble.
Oh, I love apple crumble,
really good.
especially this time of year. It's really good.
It's nice and warm. So we had a good time.
Any experiences that weren't quite as enjoyable?
Yes. So when we finally had some time to shop, I was so excited. I was just walking along and looking at the shops, and I got pickpocketed without even knowing it. So after I crossed the street from paying at one store, I went to the next store, and a few minutes later, I looked at my purse and it was open, and my wallet was gone. And I was devastated. I was like, what went wrong with me?
I think we're all just way too used to this feeling of safety that we have in Taiwan.
That's
where
true.
You can leave your laptop on a cafe table.
That's true.
You can leave. I've left my wallet on a park bench and it was there. That was really silly, a really silly thing to do. But it worked out in my favor, whereas you can be walking around with your purse closed in other places and someone will go in still and try to take it.
Well, I've actually left my bike, and I have a better road bike that's, it's worth stealing, let's just say that.
Okay.
And I have left it unlocked so many times, and yet it has never been stolen from me.
That is so weird, because I had a bike that was stolen that was totally not worth stealing. And
Really?
it was locked, and I had taken the seat off of it because I needed it for something else. So they stole a bike that was old and didn't have a seat. I don't know why.
Well, those are the kind of bikes that Amma likes to ride, so maybe that's why.
Maybe.
That's why they took it. Yeah.
I've had so many friends who lost their wallets here and then had them returned to them.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I've been too careless because I have been living in Taiwan so long. But anyways, if you ever go to Europe, you got to be careful. There are a lot of very professional pickpockets over
Dangerous, scary
over
place.
there.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Great parks.
we should go out again, though, because people really, really enjoyed hearing from Taiwan. I have a question for you guys.
Oh.
If RTI was going to do another event in another city around the world, where do you think we should go?
Well, I actually picked a whole country, Lithuania, but
Oh,
I guess
that's right.
if we picked a city, I would say
right.
Vilnius. And
That's right,
I just thought that we
Lithuania.
did so many stories featuring Taiwan and Lithuania's relationship, especially over the last year. I feel like it's really blossomed with donations on both sides as they weathered the pandemic, and
So
both of them have
true.
had similar experiences in terms of dealing with authoritarian regimes. And I think that it would be great to learn more about them firsthand.
That's right.
Also, didn't we do our AIB entry
It was about
on Lithuania and Taiwan? Yeah.
I did a show with Stash Butler called From Lithuania with Love. So it was about our relationship with Lithuania. We have a beautiful friendship with them.
Yeah.
So it was very special. I got to interview a lot of their MPs. It was great. Hey, I didn't even think of Lithuania. How about you?
So I also picked a country. Actually, no, it's also a city. I picked Guatemala.
Okay.
Why? Because as some of you may know, Guatemala is one of the few diplomatic partners that Taiwan has left in the world. It is the largest by population, and it is in Latin America, where Taiwan has many diplomatic partners. And I think it would be really cool if RTI did an event where it kind of tried to reconnect with Taiwan's diplomatic partners in Latin America, as well as like other groups there, because I don't know, I think Taiwan could do more to kind of connect with that whole continent.
These are great ideas.
And you'd be great to have on that trip. I mean,
speak
speaking
Spanish.
Spanish, English,
He's already
Chinese.
volunteering himself, right?
Yeah, I
Paving
mean,
the way.
Guatemala's cool. Yeah.
We'll bring this to our chairperson. Well, I thought, what's going on here? I'm rusty now. Twin Oaks in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
We have a really beautiful estate there. And I think if we brought Audrey Tang there, talk about digital resilience, I'm sure so many people.
You're trying to find an excuse to go, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about how cool Twin Oaks is.
Yeah, it would be really great. So anyways, I think it worked out very well this time. Hope we can do it again in another city.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on Taiwan Insider. I am Natalie Sill.
I'm Emma Banat.
And I'm Itamar Waxman.
And do remember to follow and subscribe on social media.
Yeah, we love to hear from you guys on any of our platforms, so definitely leave a comment.
Yeah, like for example, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you'd like.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.